What's going on, guys? This is Kaishra. Welcome back. So we're back with another video. So in this video we're going to cover OCG Metagame Report and deck list reviews for the past week. We do have September 10 to September 14. So a week-long span of tournament data gathering from the past weekend on the Southeast Asian regions, namely Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore and Vietnam. So we are going to cover pre-DBCB, rather post-DBCB and also post-SD47 of the Blue Eyes structure deck. So we're going to cover the impact of the Blue Eyes structure deck, and it was relatively strong. It impacted the metagame by a very large amount of number, and also the DBCB have been more paramount towards the metagame right now. It is very clear that the Razil, the Malice, and also the Ryuge are very much powerful archetypes to supplement our twilight of our July format before we venture towards our October. So we do have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Edition General Santos tournament here. We do have Champion David with Rescue A, Snake Eyes with Finsmith Azamina. So people in Japan have neglected playing the Azamina in Rescue Ace before, but on the previous days, last week, people have been mix and matching the Azamina towards the Rescue Ace because it offers a large amount of interruptions from the Omni Negate. You're going to protect your back row, and you're very much safe from the Evenly Match and Lightning Storm. So very much a powerful engine to improve the already powerful Rescue Ace. Next we do have Andrew. We do have Snake Eyes, Azamina. So pretty standard with the Finsmith and only two engraver and triple droplet. So droplet have been more popular from the past 3 weeks, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So droplet have been a mainstay on main deck of most meta decks because it is very effective against the end boards of Appaloosa, which is really popular in the Snake Eyes and also the Fire King and also the Malice. And next we do a Voices Voice, triple Dominus Purge into the main deck. So this is an alternative from the usual Foaros. So the Purge offers more coverage for interruption aside from the usual draw power. And also Dogwood, of course. Dogwood very much played on the side deck in the Philippines. I believe this is one of the most popular side deck options. Next we do have fourth place Rudely. So we do have Tenpai Dragon niya. Play the if there's a will, there's a way out. Field spell. It is like a Pot of Prosperity on steroids. It enables you to dig for cards and get your draw power and also your pivotal Pydra or Chundra that can close out games easily. And also, digging for droplet is also impressive for this card. We do have fifth Cloyd J. Del Puerto with Snake Eyes. Yeah, as Snake Eyes with Skill Drain and Sama Limit into the main deck. Very much solid floodgates to stop the opponents from playing. And we do have Aaron, Ritual Beast. So, Ritual Beast with the Nemesis package, no? It play the Corridor, which grants you to have Colossus on your board. And next we do have Carl Joseph, Madolche. So he played the Earthbar Statue, very disgusting card, and bunch of unusual tech cards into the side deck. It played the Swift Scareclaw. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the correct name for this card. And also Light Imprisoning Mirror. Oh my goodness. So these cards can heavily answer the Voices Voice and Tenpai Dragon, which is the most popular decks in the Philippines. And we do have Sword Soul here from Lloyd. So played a deck lockdown into the main deck. Wow. Very unprecedented. Usually you're just going to play Tenyi here. But looking on this list, it didn't even play the Tenyi. Instead it played a Floodgate Ice Barrier card with deck lockdown. So much more controlled oriented Sword Soul from Lloyd. And moving on, we do have Hobby Station Mola in Indonesia. First would be Ryzil. So Ryzil definitely a tier 1 status deck at the moment. There's not denying that. I believe if not the best deck at the moment, Ryzil is one of the best decks that you can play post DBCB, and also this is the better archetype at the moment aside from the three of Ryuge, Malice, and Ryzil. And on this list, it played the Sharks. So another way to improve the Ryzil is by playing Sharks engine, another rank 4 turbo shenanigans that will enable you to grant easier rank 4 access and more resiliency towards hunt traps. And next would be Millennium Exodia. So this time it played more hunt traps and board breakers like Super Poly. So it didn't play the usual Fisher into the main deck. Instead, it opted to be on side deck. Next would be Malice, so another deck from DBCB. Malice has been standardizing recently. Their main deck just looks the same from every people, so people now have gotten the correct ratio and cards to play on this Malice. And next would be Yubel. So without Finsmith, yeah. Without Finsmith, so uh, two, 2 months ago, probably, the pure Yubel is popular in South Korea. People have argued that it can have a huge upside by playing more hand traps into the main deck, and also the super polish is very, very much important to break the boards and very accessible as well on the pure version. So it is an argument before, but with the introduction of Finsmith, of course, it is landslide that Yubel have patronized the Finsmith rather than playing it pure, but it is very refreshing to see Yubel with pure version didn't play the Finsmith. Next we do have Hobby Station Headquarters Tournament. First would be Fluandris. Oh my goodness. Fluandris with Board Breaker Approach into the main deck with Dark Ruler and Book of Eclipse. Next would be Alif. Snake Eyes. Played the triple, trio, Floodgate with there can be only one skill drain and summon limit. And next would be Snake Eyes once again. Played triple Sphere Mode and triple Dogwood. So this is very TCG-esque. You could probably see the pattern of TCG people into this build. Bunch of 3-offs. Next would be Theodorus, top 4. Without Centurion, Bestial. Without Lubellion, yeah. Just play the Saronir as an extender and potentially interruption against the Finsmith and Voices Voice. And yeah, moving on, we do have Duel Estepian Samarinda tournament in Indonesia. First would be Millennium Whitewoods. Wow. So, very unusual innovation for the Whitewoods. So, it played Millennium. So, you could probably make a bridging tools to have link climbing access using the Millennium. And Whitewoods, of course, will do the usual synchro plays. But I'm not really sure how it functions. Maybe you're just trying to loop out the recursions and also the trap cards from the Top Hat, Rabbit, and also the Whitewoods cards. And next would be Irule, Finsmith Musketeer. So, Musketeer have been very much forgotten, no, by most people because it used to be a tier 4 meta deck from 2 months ago. So, on the early July format, it was a thing, but it was overshadowed by other Finsmith decks. Even the likes of Unchained Finsmith and Chimera Finsmith have been able to overshadow the Musketeer version. But I do believe this deck has its own strengths and a unique touch to interrupt the format and also have another way of win conditions using the Musketeer. Next would be Harriot and Dragon. So double Ogre into the main deck. Very good against the Voices Voice and Nubel and also the Tenpai mirror match. And next would be Fendi, Finsmith Yubel. So this time it played Finsmith, no? Didn't opt to play pure. But once again, Dogwood. So we do have a lot of Dogwood already in our report. Bunch of Dogwoods already. So people are now more conscious, more demure towards the time rules. So yeah, they're pretty much preparing against that. And moving on, we have a card, weekly tournament. First would be Snake Eyes. So yeah, standard. Nothing to say too much about this. Once again, Dogwood on 3 copies. Next would be Salamangreat. So Salamangreat with triple Signet Mining and double Talent. So Talent have been very important towards the main deck of Salamangreat. People that often play Salamangreat will more likely to play the Talent, and Talent definitely gives them access towards the draw 2 and better leverage towards the multi-shami cards. Next would be Malice. So triple parallel exceed, quite extensive. So you just want to link climb faster using the parallel exceed, and very good extender as well. And next would be Voices Voice Sword Soul Ryuge. Oh my goodness. What is this? Yeah, this is very spicy. Yeah, I'm lost for words how to comprehend this build. With Moye and Lo, you are going to definitely choose your normal summon very much meticulously, and of course the Ryugi offers the Macrocosmos on your board, no? And also the Protoss, much more easier access towards the Protoss. And next would be Duel Bacolod tournament. We do have Voices Voice, first place. Yeah, pretty standard. Next would be Finsmith Azamina Bestial Hero. Oh my goodness, another spicy deck. So yeah, Finsmith and Heroes definitely works together. And the access towards better extra deck components are what makes this deck viable, no? You have access towards the Close Sky Goddess and also the Baron de Fleur. So, very much welcome to improve the hero in a different light. Next would be Invoke Dogmatica Horus with Sinful Spoils. So, it has been a while since I have seen Invoke Dogmatica. So, yeah, it now played more engines. So, technically it is 4 engines in one deck. Next, we do have Memento Atlan. So, one draw into the main deck. No Foaros. Yeah, no Foaros. Next would be Time Walk, ranking tournament. First would be Snake Eyes. Yeah, standard. Next would be Ritual Beast. So, played... Oh, didn't... Oh, it still played the Nemesis package. And next would be At Ignister. Yeah. Very solid rogue deck. Yeah, people really forgot how strong this deck can be on close shit environment where people don't know what you are playing. I believe this deck is really strong on that regard. Next would be Naturia Horus. Of course, Naturia Beast is a massive card to stop the meta decks. And moving on, we do have any member do this tournament. First would be Yubel. Oh, without Finsmith once again. Hold on a minute. It is not playing Finsmith. Instead, play the Super Poly and Dominus Impulse. Yeah. Really exciting development for Yubel. So it proves that they can stand alone without the Finsmith any at all. Next will be Atlantean. With Kalis, World Kalis. Oh my goodness. What the freak is this? So you have access towards the Justicar and potentially more easier access towards the rank 10, no? With the Chenging and Croco Dragon. Yeah, really insane. Next would be another Mermail Atlantean. This time, pure version. Yeah, pure. And moving on, we do have Ogre Community, Osiris Dubilis. First would be Horus Stun, of course. Stun is definitely a very good meta call to play because you are having borders the likes of floodgates to play around hand traps effectively. Next would be Marvin Labyrinth. Yeah, standard. And next would be another Mermail, Atlantean. Oh my god. This time with more ice barrier cards, no? And also a Ryuga engine as well. Next would be Danu, Stellar Knight. With a small Ryzil engine. Oh my goodness. Yeah. This is really exciting development for the Stellar Knights. Next would be Oda tournament. First would be Gimmick Puppet, so FTK. Yeah, FTK deck still very relevant once you don't have the proper hand traps to play. You're getting FTK almost 90% of the time. And next would be Yubel Unchained. So once again, without Finsmith, yeah. This time with Unchained. Next would be Tenpai Dragon. Yeah, standard. Next would be Azamina, Finsmith. So played one talent into the main. Next would be Yu-Gi-Oh! Davao Mindanao Gaming. Second would be Memento. So nothing too unusual here, just played Tisibu. Next would be Magical Musketeer Finsmith. So another Musketeer, no? This time with Mind Control over Change of Heart. Yeah, really tricky. First would be Voices Voice. With double Mourner. Yeah, double Mourner and double Anti-Spell into the main deck. Next would be ITS tournament, weekly tournament. First would be another Mermail. This is like the fifth Mermail already in our report. So Mermail definitely have risen from their graves, no? Because they used to be very underwhelming on the past few weeks. So now they are, yeah, performing quite decent. Next would be Evaldo, Rizil, Triple Small World. Yeah, good budget option if you are not going to buy the 7th Tachyon. Next would be Volmonica. Without Finsmith, wow, this is very bold considering that you pretty much need the Finsmith to improve this. Yeah. Next would be Akmal, Tenpai with Board Breaker approach. Play the Blaster Engine with Gold Sark. And next would be Yu-Gi-Oh! Community Zambales tournament with a Yubel Finsmith. So bunch of Yubels in our report, no? Next would be Tenpai Dragon from Benson. Double Bell into the main deck. And also played a bunch of board breakers. Next would be Rogue's Passage tournament. First would be Malice, yeah, Malice. Triple Judgment and also Tripurulia and 2 Fuaros into the side deck. Next would be Infernoble Knight. Very disgusting combo deck. Yeah, once you don't have Maxi or Droll, you are getting streamrolled by this deck. And next would be Yu-Gi-Oh! Davao Mindanao Gaming. First would be Yubel. Without Finsmith once again, no? So, side deck the copy of one Skirmer. Next would be Tenpai, once again. Heatwave, still relevant, no? Into the side deck. And yeah, that sums up our OCG Metagame report and deck list reviews from the past week. We do have tournaments from Southeast Asian regions. So, if you found this video informative and helpful, please consider subscribing into my YouTube channel. It definitely motivates me a lot to keep providing this content for you guys. So once again, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.